Stadium, where 5 legends of the game and 2 prominent builders will be celebrated and enshrined forever in Canadian football history. But not only did we get to honor the newest class of inductees, we also wrap up Week 16 with an East versus West clash. It's the Elks and Tiger-Cats coming up on TSN.
Levi Mitchell, 17-4 in his career versus Edmonton, including 7 300-yard games and 39 touchdown passes. How will he fare tonight? Let's check it out.
Cody Fajardo is 6-2 lifetime against the Hamilton Tiger-Cats. He leads the Canadian Football League in completion percentage at 77%. He may need that accuracy tonight because the wind is blowing at Hamilton Stadium.
And these Hamilton Tiger-Cats want to win this game, but they also want to morph into the championship caliber team. They'll need to get this man involved, Greg Bell, who's 3rd in the CFL with 5.5 yards per attempt.
Well, the dual threat that is the one and only Justin Rankin. He comes into Week 16 with a CFL best 10 rushes of 10-plus yards, 418 yards after the catch as well. Edmonton hoping for a few more fireworks from this man tonight. And it is an absolute perfect night for football here in the Hammer. Kate Burness alongside Enoch Mwamba, Dave Naylor, Milt Stiegel, and Dave was laughing as he said the wind would be a factor. The wind is only a factor for this person on the panel right now. But we have had a fantastic day so far, and we hope that the festivities continue. We'll get the guys' thoughts on this game in just a moment. But first, let's head to field level and join our Matthew Shinetti. We've been talking about these 7 incredible humans that are going into the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. Obviously, a tremendous game between the Elks and the Tiger-Cats coming up and all the players involved. But there's still one person that is on everyone's minds here in Hamilton. Matthew?
Ted Gavaya's legacy is starting to take shape, Kate. $16,000 was raised last week here at Hamilton Stadium, and that will go to benefit Ted Gavaya's scholarships for student athletes at Mount Allison and McMaster University. And there are stages of grief right now that the Hamilton Tiger-Cats are experiencing, and Scott Milanovich said it this week that everyone is going to process it in their own way. But he's not using it as a rallying cry. He felt that would be pretty disrespectful, and as the East is taking shape, you mentioned it, Enoch, the one thing that the Hamilton Tiger-Cats keep saying, no one is going to help us, especially when looking at that game last night between the Montreal Alouettes and the Toronto Argonauts. And speaking of no one is going to help us, you can understand why the Edmonton Elks might feel that way. Cordell Jackson's coming in for Royce Metier, who now is being added to what is really, unfortunately, an all-star list on the 6-game injured list for the Edmonton Elks when you consider Metier and Jake Serezna and Robbie Smith and Stephen Dunbar. So you can kind of understand when Mark Killam kind of just shakes his head at what he's looking at right now. But the one person, even at 5-8, as Edmonton is, who is very hopeful, is Cody Fajardo, because he comes back to Hamilton Stadium for the first time since the 110th Grey Cup when he had that incredible near last-second touchdown drive. That toss to Tyson Philpott lives forever in Grey Cup history. And the one thing that Cody Fajardo told me this week, after that moment and knowing what Edmonton is going through this season, Kate, he said nothing, no situation is ever too overwhelming.
Couldn't agree more, and we thought about this before too. Cody probably feels pretty comfortable here in this stadium hoisting the Grey Cup. Sure. When it comes though to this Elks team, there is always one person we are looking at, and before that too, these are elk burgers sitting in front of us, I should mention here. They look absolutely delicious, but how ironic that you can buy an elk burger here at Hamilton Stadium
This is brought
tonight.
To us by the Eat 'em Raw people, right?
The Eat 'em Raw people, and Milt Stiegel will be downing all 4, I've been told, correct?
I'm not sharing with you, Milt.
Rosemary, oak cheese, elk burger.
Goat cheese.
Why we eat elk burgers in Hamilton?
Because you want to eat the
It
Elks
makes sense
against the
tonight,
Elks.
doesn't
We're
it?
in Edmonton. We didn't eat Tiger-Cats, did we? Tiger-Cat
Maybe we
burgers?
did, Milt. Maybe we did. Meanwhile, Enoch, for you, it is Justin Rankin tonight. And look, he's such a dual threat. He can do so many things when it comes to this Elk offense, and we're expecting the exact same tonight.
This Hamilton defense has one clear assignment, and it's to stop this man right here, Justin Rankin. We know how he is and what he can do and how dynamic he is. He is small in stature, but he's powerful and he's explosive when he touches the ball. Anytime he touches the ball, something great can happen, and you know this. You've seen this. He leads the league with the most explosive or 20-yard plus runs with 10. He is the only one in CFL that has done that, and whenever he touches the ball, he is dangerous, Dave.
Well, yeah, and if there's a vulnerability in this Hamilton defense, it is stopping the run. So you're right, it's going to be key in this game. I'm going to watch the other running back in this game, Greg Bell. And, you know, it's about a year ago that the Ticats made the switch, went away from James Butler, went to Greg Bell, and you really haven't seen him explode until the last couple of weeks. He had his first 100-yard games in each of the Ticats' last 2 games. And I think as prolific as this offense has been with Bo Levi Mitchell through the season, it was a bit one-dimensional earlier on. And I think there were times that teams were catching up to that. If Greg Bell can establish that same presence that we've seen over the last 2 Ticat contests, that's going to make that offense especially tough to stop.
Well, this Elk defense better not just concentrate on Greg Bell, because as you mentioned, Bo Levi Mitchell in this receiving core, some of the high-power receivers he has, they'll destroy him. So that's a problem for this Elk defense now, because Greg Bell has gotten going. So Scott Milanovic, their offensive coordinator, has so much to work with, because he knows he can drop back, and Bo Levi Mitchell has so many weapons on that offense, and you add Greg Bell in there, it's going to be a problem. Yes, these Elks are powerful. They can score some points, but I don't know if they want to get in a match where you have to outscore these Hamilton Tiger-Cats, because I don't think they can win the game in that fashion.
You know, we had Blanco on in the first game in between, and just talking about how this Elk team is really coming together, and especially defensively as well too. And you're looking and you're saying, and for teams like this that pick up momentum at this point in the season, these are the scary ones in my opinion. And it just feels like Edmonton, even though they had that walk-off loss against the Argonauts, there's something special right now, Dave.
Well, there's no question. I mean, this has really been a tale of 2 seasons. You go back to that Week 7 bye that the Elks had, and really when you look at the season stats and you try to see where does this team rank on defense, where do they rank on passing, running, it's really, you can almost throw out those first 6 games because they've been such a different team since they made the switch at quarterback and since they refined some of the things on defense that Joel DeBlanco was talking about, changed things up that have really improved their play.
I talked to J.C. Sherrod and Aaron Grimes pregame here, and I asked them the same question. I said, what was the difference? And they talk about, hey, look, there's just a lot more buy-in now. They're starting to understand each other as well as the coaching staff understanding the players, and that made a huge role into the changes that they've had this season.
You know what? Honestly, Milt, take a bite. Take a bite for the fans every time.
He's going to play around with it. Brian really will.
He's going to do it. He's going to do it.
4, 3, 2, 1, cut! And you crazy.
They didn't cut Milt, just to let you know. Well, not just the game tonight or Milt trying to eat food. Of course, we celebrate the latest and greatest when it comes to the Canadian Football League and Canadian football history. They are enshrined in the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. Coming up after the break, we speak to one of these men, Brian Chiu.
You dream about being in the Hall of Fame. You only hope that the collection of your works can add up to this.
Old Faithful, Jermaine Copeland.
That's what we've been working for. Come up here to get this ring, and we came and did it.
Brian Chiu, 7-time League All-Star and 9-time Division All-Star.
When I go up against that guy, big old number 63, you got to bring your hard hat.
Did he hang on? No, he didn't. The good hit by Darryl Hall jarred that ball loose.
It's a low-scoring first half, and this is why intercepted by Scott Flagel.
For people that have contributed to this game, for people who have played this game, a tremendous honor.
Hamilton fans hoping to see their team move to 9 wins on the season, but we know it's not just about the current players tonight. It is also about the ones who came before them. Love to see those future fans, though, as we pay homage to the great players of the past. And we do start with Brian Chiu. He was drafted by Montreal in 1996. He went on to play his entire 13-year career with the Alouettes. He was the 2022 most outstanding lineman and a 2-time Grey Cup champion. Jovan Olafioye had a brilliant 9-year career. He was the 3-time finalist for most outstanding lineman, also a Grey Cup champion with the Lions. Scott Fagel, who recorded 60 defensive takeaways to sit 12th all-time. And the one and only Jermaine Copeland, what a character he was in this one. He registered 1,000+ receiving yards in 5 seasons. And last but not least, Daryl Hall. In 8 seasons with Calgary, he tallied at least 50 tackles en route to 546 in total. He played for Grey Cup on 4 occasions, winning twice. What a class it has been. And how great was this? One of the best videos we saw all year. Brian Chiu just thought it was a regular day speaking to students at Vancouver College, but no, they surprised him with the news that he was being inducted into the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. And honestly, he was absolutely shocked.
What makes this moment even more special is that you've never stopped giving back to the game. You've inspired us and so many others with your leadership, dedication, and passion. So today, it's our turn to give something back to you, Coach. It's our honor to let you know that you're being inducted into the Canadian Football Hall of Fame.
Love you guys, man. When you play this game of football, you never really think about individual accolades. You think about your teammates, your coaches. It all started here at Vancouver College for me. I was just a young little Asian kid that wanted to play football. You know, I was a fat kid, slow. And it was the one thing I was really good at. This is a place where it started for me, and this will be the place that ends for me. So thank you guys.
You made me cry.
You made me cry. I don't like surprises, man.
Congratulations.
Thank you, boss. Thank you.
Absolutely thrilled to welcome to the panel one of the newest members of the Canadian Football Hall of Fame, Brian Chiu. Brian, welcome to the broadcast, and once again, congratulations. I have to start with that video right there. So we got it fed to us at TSN, and I think a lot of the time you think, okay, maybe this is staged. That looked so genuine when you walked in that it were your players that were giving you that news. Take us through it a little bit.
It was on April 1st, so at first I thought it was April Fool's Day. I mean, I didn't know what to think about it, but I was speechless. I'm someone that likes to prepare and always be prepared, but that caught me off guard when I saw my mom and my sisters and my nephews. It was a very touching moment for me.
Brian, you played a thankless position, an offensive lineman. You don't always get the praise, and you make plays. Your name doesn't get called. You don't end up on the front page of the newspaper. And when we were talking off air, you talked about being a coach now is the best thing you could have done afterwards. Talk to me about the impact that you're having in the youth that you're coaching right now.
I think the most important thing for my boys now that I coach is that we're not in the football business. We're in the relationship building business, and it's much more than the game itself. We use the game of football as a way to develop real sincere relationships, and that's the most important, rewarding thing with this job.
Brian, one of the things you talked about at the induction last night at the podium was playing a game as a Canadian of Chinese descent, and as you said, leaning in and joining a sport that didn't have a lot of people who looked like you, as I believe the way you described it. Just tell me a little bit about that experience and how you see yourself trying to inspire other people from similar backgrounds towards this game.
I think representation truly matters, and the CFL game is so diverse. I talk about it all the time. Being of Asian descent, I have the opportunity to snap a ball to a Mexican quarterback back there. I know. And his job
Diversity is strength,
yes,
right?
and his job was to throw the ball to the Mormon Canadian guy, right? Or hand the ball off to the African American in the back.
That's awesome.
But at the end of the day, we're all brothers, and we're here to achieve a common goal.
That's awesome. That's awesome. 7-time CFL All-Star, 9-time Eastern All-Star. When you finally found out you was going to the Hall of Fame, did you say, what took so long? I had a stellar career. What took so long?
Absolutely not. I still don't think I'm truly deserving. I truly believe it takes all 12 guys on the field to do it. And the teammates I had, Anthony Calvillo and Mike Pringles, Scott Flores, those guys all helped me play this game at a higher level.
So you talked about Anthony Calvillo and all the success you had with the Montreal Alouettes. I know your favorite player to play with all time must have been Davis Sanchez. I mean, we all know this, right?
That's my guy.
That's your guy, Davis Sanchez. I get that. I had to give Chesney just a little bit of love. But all those moments, and obviously the Grey Cups, was there one particular year or one particular player that stands out the most for you?
One particular player, probably Scott Flory. Okay. I mean, we spent 12 years of my 13-year career with each other. We roomed together. I spent more time with him than any other person in the world.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and you had so much success. What when you think about the success and the championships and the great seasons that you had, which one comes to mind first?
The 2009 13th man.
Why?
I got to be honest. I mean, I took a picture of that 13th man flag last night just from Glenn.
Sorry, Rhino Nation.
Yeah,
that's it.
Paul LaPolice loves it every time they re-roll that highlight.
I love it.
He's really a big fan of that clip. Yeah. I'll ask you had a 13-year career and you did it all in Montreal, and you're a West Coast guy.
Yeah.
Was there ever a point where you were tempted, or why the commitment to spend your entire career with one organization?
I got to give the credit to my mom. My mom has always taught me loyalty. Like I mentioned before, many teams passed on me when they had a chance to draft me. Montreal gave me that chance, so every time I got to free agency, she always reminded me that loyalty was the most important thing, and the grass isn't greener on the other side.
Did she remind you to go to the Grey Cup every year in Montreal?
No. That part was easy.
Brian, once again, congratulations on being enshrined in the Canadian Football Hall of Fame, and thank you for stopping by. Let's go now to Matthew, standing by with Cordell Jackson.
I appreciate you guys.
Cordell, unfortunately, the Elks are now dealing with another injury to Royce Metier. What, though, is the mentality of this defense as you now slot into the safety position?
Just next man up mentality, just being a professional, always preparing like a pro. That's the only thing we got to do.
And what's the one thing that J.C. Sherritt has kind of told this team as it continues to learn how to win together, knowing that a win was left on the table last week in Toronto?
We just got to go back to the fundamentals, man, and just continue to be a pit bull. That's the name of our defense, man. We just pit bulls, just keep scratching and clawing till we get to the top.
Appreciate this. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cordell and his teammate Tyrell Ford and the Elks defense allowing 296.1 passing yards per game, the most in the CFL. They'll need to clean that up tonight against this high-flying Hamilton attack. More coming up after this. is the final game of week number 16. Hamilton fans looking for a third straight win, but Edmonton, they've been good. 4 of their 5 wins this season coming against East opponents. Should be a great one tonight, and it has been a great one for Jovan Olafioye, as he now joins us on set. And Jovan, first of all, congratulations in being enshrined at the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. We just had Brian Chiu on, and we saw how Brian got the news from his students and his athletes, and his family was there. When did you find out that you were getting into the Canadian Football Hall of Fame, and what was your reaction?
It was actually a late call from Wally, about 2 o'clock at midnight. I thought something was bad was about to happen.
Wally's on East Coast time, or West Coast time.
He was in Hawaii, right? So once I heard his voice, I'm like, okay, what's going on? So he started talking to me, let me know I was inducted to the Canadian Hall of Fame. It was the greatest call of my life.
Nice,
yes.
Nice. Hey, Jovan, first of all, I got to say, my brother, who you played with, said to say hi, so I have to do it before I get started.
For sure, it's my guy.
Tell me about you. You guys got a ring in 2011, and you had a lot of success. I remember you being a pillar for your offensive line. Who was the guy that gave you the biggest nightmares? I know you got a lot of great memories, but who gave you the nightmares?
Nightmares, I have to say Charleston Hughes. I played him the most. Yeah. Chuck was really good. He was a good football player. You really didn't know what he was going to do every play. Yeah. He mixed it up. He was crafty. He was fast. He was low-key kind of strong, too. So, but he gave me a lot of work. It was good going against him, 4 or 5 times a year. So that was probably the best player I played against.
You mentioned it was Wally Buono who gave you the phone call. And I was talking to Wally from Italy the other day, and he was telling me about the first time he saw you at a free agent camp down in Florida. Yeah. And he said when they got to the lateral movement drills, that's when you really grabbed his attention. Tell me a little bit about how that relationship between your coach and him and yourself grew during your time with the Lions.
He just stayed on me. I always say, I owe everything to Wally, because he gave me the opportunity to see me in that camp and really believed in me and put me around the right people to make sure I grew. So, Wally is like a father figure to me, and I owe a lot to him, even his family. I owe a lot to them, and he's the reason why I'm here today.
You talked about Wally and the impact he had on you, but let's talk about the man I think who had even more impact on your playing career. Your former offensive line coach, who unfortunately he's not here, but we know he's watching from the heavens above. Let's talk about him a little bit.
Dan was great, man. Dan was great. A great coach, great man, great father. Did a lot with me. Dan DeRazio, yes. So he put a lot of time in with me before practice, after practice. He's another person that just believed in me, believed in my talent, believed in everything I had going on, and just poured into me. So he's another reason why I'm here today, standing before you guys, strong and humble man.
Jovan, when we look at your accomplishments, I mean, we can always look at Grey Cups, and obviously that was 2012 for you. In 2011, a great year too, top offensive lineman. Was there a particular season that you loved the most, or a team that you loved the most that came together that you knew that this was going to be the one that won it all?
2011 for sure. 2012, I thought we was gonna make it. We went to the rest of the final, so I thought we were gonna be able to push that one out. But 2011 for sure was the best team I had, and that's my family. I still talk to a lot of those guys today. It was a great experience, and I love those guys to death.
Who's the guy that made you guys laugh the most in that 2011 team? Because I remember all those DBs, I remember.
I know who you're going to say.
I feel like I know too.
Banks for sure. Banks, Aaron Hunt, those guys was hilarious, man. Those guys was hilarious. Great teammates, though. Great teammates, great football players.
Yes, I think you remember. You're now in the Detroit area. You're doing some coaching, is that right?
No, not no more. I resigned back in December. Brian Medina Culture at an elementary school in Detroit on the west side called Bethune.
That's awesome.
So I've been doing that for a little bit over 2 years now.
That's awesome.
Yep.
All right, so we got 20 seconds. Can you tell any of these stories of Corey, or is this like offside?
No, not Corey. No.
Not on you.
PG. Keep it PG. 15 seconds.
I'm trying to think. It's so many stories.
You know what?
I would say one of my David Chan chats, but I ain't gonna say it on air. I'm not gonna say that on air.
All right, you know what? We're gonna throw over to Matthew Shinetti, and you can tell us. Here's Matthew standing by with Greg Bell.
Well, Greg, I know you're often short on words, but you've been long on runs the last couple of weeks. What has been working for the run game the last couple of weeks?
Just the O-line getting pushed up front, and then me just following them and doing what I got to do.
over the next couple of weeks, as you guys are trying to continue to pursue first in the East, what is going to be the key with the offense? Is it really going to be balanced attack, or have you gone to Milanovic and said, hey, just keep giving me the rock?
No, definitely balanced attack and hold on to the football and taking care of the football and no turnovers.
And are you noticing a different kind of energy as we get into fall, knowing that this year you guys really do have your destiny in your own hands?
Definitely. We just got to keep stacking victories and getting wins.
Appreciate this.
Thank you.
All right, for Greg Bell, 5.5 yards per rushing attempt, ranks third in the CFL. Looking for a little more tonight. That is certainly what fans would like to see. It is time for our anytime touchdown score. I'm not starting with you, Milt Siegel, because once again, you cheated at this game. Enoch, who do you think is going to score a TD tonight?
I'm going to go with a guy that needs to wake up tonight. He needs to wake up if this team wants to have success, and that's the Edmonton Elks. Curly Gittens Jr., he's a guy that's been streaky all season long.
Right.
If he can get going tonight, we know Justin Rankin, we know Cody Fajardo. This man right here could be a game changer for him.
I'm going to go with a guy who's had a breakout season and had a huge game the last time the Hamilton Tiger-Cats faced the Edmonton Elks. That is receiver Keandre Smith.
Yeah.
He is my anytime touchdown guy for tonight.
Well, I'm going with Tim White for a couple of reasons.
Ridiculous.
Number one, whoever Kate picks, whenever I pick them, they always score. But Tim White is a good guy to score. He can get it done with the big plays downfield. Also, Bo Levi Mitchell likes to look for him in the red zone. So I'm going with Tim White.
You know what, just for people at home, so we have a group chat that goes on and we all say our every time touchdown score. I literally did it first, second, third, and all of a sudden Milt's like, you know what, Tim White it is. Stop cheating. Stop cheating. You're cheating every game because you know I'm going to win.
But Kate, every time I make the same pick as you, I win also. Why wouldn't I keep doing that, Kate?
I honestly think we're too much of a team at this point. So obviously Enoch picked his former teammate in Curly Gittens Jr. because this is all that Enoch currently does. Dave, you like Keandre Smith. I obviously like Tim White, and so does Milt because he can't do his own research at this point. Keandre Smith, though, he was great against the Elks in week number 9. So I get this pick, Dave. 7 receptions, 138 yards, hoping for a repeat performance tonight. Keys to victory from the three guys coming up right after this.
It's